here, Life After Money. In the last video I showed you a little bit of my new artwork, and it was very new, and people have been asking, I want to see the finished article, when's it going to come? But the thing is, these things take ages. Now when I have an idea for my next art project, I will think about it for a long time and decide what medium I'm going to use. Sometimes I feel like I want to do a lot of stitching, hand stitching. Sometimes I feel like I want to do some weaving, or I feel like I want to use wool, or I might want to do some painting, or use plastics, wood, tins. I use lots of different things for my artwork, so I go with what I feel like doing. So this time it was lots of hand stitching and colour as usual, always lots of colour in what I make. So I thought, right, I've got this piece of Hessian. This is Hessian, come out of somebody's garage. Somebody was throwing it away, relative actually, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty good, that. I could do something with that, some stitching. So I just have a little idea in my head, and it's like planting a seed actually. Planting a seed and thinking, well, what do I want the end result to look like? So really it is just an idea, and I've got no idea if it will turn out how I first thought, because for me it's like a journey. So I look at the idea and I start and think about how I can do this, and then it's not a straight road. When you're creating something, you do not go down the straight road. There are lots of ways to go off track. So I go off on this direction and go off on that direction. So the end product could be nothing like what I first thought of. So anyway, it's just the thought processes in my mind that come together over a period of time. I can't just suddenly think, yes, I want to make such and such, because it just doesn't happen like that. The idea comes first, and I play around with it, play on my table with bits and pieces. So I've got this Hessian, and I thought, yes, I want to stitch, and I want colour. So I've done a little practice piece on the corner, just there. So I've daubed a bit of paint on there. It's ordinary vinyl silk emulsion, household emulsion paint. I played around with some stitching there, and I thought, yes, very tiny stitches, different colours, squares. So you know, that's an idea that I'm going to play around with. And so where are we at now? I've got lots more. I've got lots more to play with here. So the picture I think that was in the last video was a coloured in piece like that. Now I've put it over a frame which is an old picture frame, so I've pinned it down so that I can work on it quite easily. So, and then I've started to stitch into it. So I've got the squares of paint, and I'm incorporating now squares of stitching. So I thought, do I go over the boundary and over two colours, or do I stay within the squares of one colour? My first square was that one there, that green one there. Now I just went round and round and round, started in the middle, go round and round and round, and then when the cotton ran out I just stopped, and that was it. So then I thought, yeah, that looks pretty much okay. So let's make another one. But then I thought, well, I can't really start in the middle of the second one. I need to start on the outside and work my way in towards the middle. So the next one was added to it. I think it was the blue one actually, and then I've started to add more. But with the others I haven't filled in the centre, because now I'm leaning towards, yeah, maybe I won't fill in the centres, because maybe they now look like picture frames. They look like small picture frames, very small picture frames. So I'm just doing a back stitch. I'm just going to make sure that you can actually see this, so I'm going to dive behind the camera to see what you can see. Yes, that's not bad, is it? I'm just I'm just lining you up so you can see. About there is about right. So I've now added more squares, more colours, and I think these are like little picture frames, and I'm thinking now maybe I ought to put something in the centre of these picture frames, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave them as empty picture frames. So who knows where it's going to go next. I think what I am going to do now is to take out the centre of that first one, because I rather like the idea of the picture frames. So they're all different sizes, and small ones, big ones, and they're all different widths. Some have got 3 rows of stitching, 4 rows, 5, 6, 7 rows of stitching. Make some of them narrow. That's a narrow one, that's a wide one. So yeah, vary it, vary the colours, vary the sizes, keep on putting more and more picture frames on there, and then I might think about putting something in the centre of the picture frames and making them small pictures. Whether I go, I'm standing up again, do you mind if I stand up? I need to look in the camera, that's it. I'm thinking that I may or may not go right to the edge, although I may do. The idea is to stitch it onto a wall hanging with a dark background and fray the edges. So I'll fray the edges of this. I won't put it in a frame, but anyway, how close can I get so that it's still in focus? So you can see I've got a long way to go yet. This is just an update of this new artwork. No idea what it's going to be called, just frame it. There you are. Thank you for watching Mean Queen Life After Money, and now I'm going to carry on with this. Bye!